Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm Zeus Kerravala from ZK Research, and I'm here at Torrey Pines Golf Course in San Diego with Cedric Lockhart, VP of Public Sector Sales for Cisco.
Yes, sir.
We're actually here for Partner Summit. Well, a little pre-Partner Summit golf.
Pre-Partner Summit, getting after it.
And while you're Public Sector Sales for Cisco, what I want to talk to you about is some of the purpose work that you do. And so you are the lead for Cisco's Black community.
Connected Black Professionals.
And how's that been going? It's been a while since we caught up on that.
Yeah, it's been great. So Cisco has over 20 inclusive communities. Connected Black Professionals is the second largest one, with a little bit more than 3,000 Cisconians that are represented in that organization.
And that's really grown, right?
It has grown.
Yeah.
It's been growing roughly 8 to 10% a year. I think more because of what we're doing for the community, and they're seeing what we're doing for the community. And so we're getting more and more Cisconians that may have already been at Cisco, but that weren't actively involved in Connected Black Professionals involved. So that's really been our focus. We're really trying to develop and retain talent, attract talent where we have talent gaps that we can go fill. And it's been really impactful. We've finished our third year of an innovative program that we started that now the company is starting to do. An event we call Radiate, which is a development event. Radiate helps not only attract talent to Cisco, but also develop talent, whether it's early, mid, or senior career talent. So it's that's been really amazing outcome of the organization.
Yeah, and so since you've been doing that, have you seen the number of Black professionals increase at Cisco? I know that's been a big focus of from Chuck Robbins on down.
It definitely has, and we've got part of our social justice initiatives is to increase representation. We have seen increased representation, and we're seeing increased participation, and that to me is just as important. We want our associates inside of Cisco to feel included and be part of, feel a sense of belonging. And so that's really what these inclusive communities do. It's not just Connected Black Professionals.
Yes,
all 20 of them are really about increasing a sense of belonging inside the organization.
Yeah, no, that's good. And in fact, I think that's one thing I've always admired about Cisco. Culture is important. Mm-hmm. Every executive, every individual I talk to, they talk a lot about culture. I know
Absolutely.
And I think for the Black community, it's been a very underrepresented community in tech for a long time.
That's right.
So whatever Cisco can do to drive more of that, that's really, in fact, I know Cisco does a lot of funding to the HBCUs and things like that, and so that just drives more and more Cisco top of mind for that audience when they come out of college. Right?
That's right. Yeah, we see that with our. I mean, one of the things I love about being at Cisco is that we are a purpose-driven organization, and if I choose to work anywhere else, it will have to be another purpose-driven organization. And our customers feel that too, frankly. In my role leading the networking business for public sector, we also service those HBCUs as customers. And they often bring that up to us about how we're showing up in our communities. And that's an important differentiator for us in the marketplace too.
Yeah, I talked to Fran about that, your C3PO, about that and the investment Cisco is making there. She says it does, a lot of people don't understand that there's a tie into business, and you can do good and have it be good for business, because those individuals that you're helping with their career, then they go out in the workplace, and now Cisco is top of mind for them when they're a network engineer and they're trying to recommend to their customers who they should use, right? And so it's all tied together, and I think sometimes the purpose work Cisco does, I think people don't fully understand the value it has, not just to the community, but to the business as well. 100%. So you can, and she was very clear the last time I talked to her about that, you can do things that are good for the company and good for business.
Absolutely, and that's, I think we live in that space, and it's helps us to attract and retain talent. It's one of the most highest telling indicators of people when you're leading teams. People that feel included, feel belong as a part of the team, their voice feels like they belong there. They retain, they stay at the organization. So that's another differentiator for us. We can retain top talent.
Yeah. Now another area of purpose that you're heavily involved in is the Advocates for Professional Golf Association, the APGA.
Yeah.
I've been following that for a while. I love that. It's for those not familiar with it, it is a golf tour specifically for minorities.
Yes.
There's obviously a lot of Black players on it, but there's other minorities as well.
Sure.
You wrapped up another season.
Yep.
And I think last time I talked to you was a couple years ago about that. And Cisco was a lead sponsor, but also they sponsor specific players. But you've actually changed how you interoperate with the league.
Yeah, the mix has changed a bit. Yeah, so APGA is a really interesting and productive opportunity for us to bring our purpose to life. We have customers that engage in the APGA through pro-ams, through supporting some of the tournaments, having opportunities to connect with some of these players. And APGA, Cisco got involved about 5 years ago in the APGA, at the first ever Billy Horschel Invitational.
Yeah, Keith Udelmard.
Right, where he invited a number of organizations down just to get exposure to the APGA. I was there, some of our other executives were there, and at that point we decided to get really involved in the tour, and that involvement has evolved over time, and now we are the title sponsor for the tour. This is our 5th year being the title sponsor, 15th year of the APGA being in doing this work. And we're starting to see real progress. This year we had 7 players on the APGA make it past the Q School Stage 1, which is a record number of players. It's a development tour, so we don't want them to stay on the APGA tour.
I mean, ultimately, if they're on there 10 years, that's,
probably not what we want, right? We want to see them, we love them, we root for them, we want to see them every time we come to these events, but we really want to see them on the PGA Tour one day. And so we're starting to see progress. There are a few players that have played on the APGA Tour that are on bigger tours now, and with 7 getting through the first gauntlet of Q School, there will be many more probably this year.
In fact, I follow Jean-Baptiste on Instagram, and I get this close this year.
John had a tough Q School day too, so unfortunately.
But boy, he's knocking on the door. So, all right, Cedric, so you've been with it now, you said, for
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
It's 15 years. What kind of impact have you seen from it?
So we're seeing players elevate. So Tim O'Neill, who was a regular player on the APGA Tour, is now playing on PGA Tour Champions. We have a number of players on that tour that have PGA Tour America status. And what you're really seeing is just the investment in their development, the investment in access to coaching, access to playing great golf courses like Torrey Pines that we're on right now. They do have an event here. The Farmers event is hosted at this tournament, at this course. Gives them an opportunity to develop their game and elevate to higher levels and get some of the exposure. So we just wrapped up our final event of the year, which was the Billy Horschel Invitational down in Bradenton, Florida.
Where you present the Cisco Cup?
Yes, where we presented the Cisco Cup.
And what's next for Cisco in the investment in the tour?
Yeah, the company's behind the APGA Tour 100%, and so
I know Chuck Roberts, your CEO, is actually very involved.
He's very involved. He's the stories that you hear from so many of the players of how involved Chuck is and other executives in Cisco in terms of their development, texting them before tournaments, checking with them on how rounds went and after tournaments, after Q School qualifying. There's a commitment inside Cisco with Chuck and Mark Patterson and so many other Cisco leaders around this tour.
And I won't embarrass Chuck, but I know I've heard some stories about him making personal investments in players and things like that. So he's obviously he's done very well in his career, but he takes that success he's had, and in fact, I've asked him about it, and he said, for him, it's just a natural part of the way he is, right? Just, if you can't be generous with the success you've had,
culture comes from somewhere.
Then what good does it? So
culture comes from somewhere.
All right, so we caught up on the Black Community APGA. Anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, I'm just excied about Partner Summit this week. I think we have a lot of really interesting things.
What are you looking forward to hear?
I'm looking forward to hearing additional innovation, hearing from our partners and how that innovation is playing in the market. So I lead the networking business for public sector. We've refreshed our entire portfolio, and we're on a very, very aggressive timeline to do more things in this business. I'm really interested in some of the sidebar meetings I have with the partners to see how that's playing in the marketplace.
How is U.S. public sector with AI? I know that when people think of, when I think of innovation in governments, I think of the UAE and Saudi Arabia and, some of the Asian countries. I don't think a U.S. public sector is being highly innovative.
It's in pockets, right? I mean, AI is top of mind for everybody. Certainly in our higher education institutions, especially our R1 institutions, they lead the marketplace in AI investment and AI research. We also see that in the federal government in pockets. Certainly, U.S. public sector is such a broad market segment. So we have, K-12, where AI is involved in like the learning of their students, but it's not, maybe they're not doing as much research there as they would do at an R1 institution. But it really depends. But AI is impacting everything, and we feel it in our business that AI investment's real. Our customers are getting ready for deployments of AI. They're still figuring out what they want to do with AI in some cases, but we have some of the leading thought makers in AI in this space.
Yeah, and I think it's going to follow along the lines of cloud, right? public sector didn't jump on cloud, and
Right.
we obviously had to get FedRAMP approved and have private clouds for state and local. I think you're going to see something similar with AI.
That's right. Yeah.
But it's coming.
The FedRAMP process is happening. The government has also streamlined some of that process, which has been helpful.
Yeah.
But that's always. I mean, we're always a step or two behind for cloud services because of those requirements.
And the new partner program coming, right? You got Tim Coogan now heading up for the partner program.
Excited about that.
Coogie's a good guy.
He's a great guy.
And
everybody's best friend.
Yeah. Well, that's why he's great in that role. But I've talked to some partners about it, and they're excited to have him on board. And I'm really curious to get the temperature of the partners about how they're embracing the new 360 program.
Absolutely.
Or looking forward to it coming. It's been interesting following Cisco as long as I have, because whenever Cisco changes the partner program, partners like freak out, like it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, they realize, well, that was the best thing for our business.
Yeah.
Right. And so I don't really see this being any different. So.
I don't either. I mean, a change is hard for everybody, and it's once partners learn more about it, they're more understanding of it, and they see that there's real opportunities for them to thrive there too. So,
all right, Cedric. Well, I appreciate the time.
Yes.
I'm looking at the clock. We got to go tee off.
Yes,
soon.
sir.
So
let's do it.
Always appreciate it.
Let's go low.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go low.
All right.